Hello from Freedomtax Accounting. We are an accounting firm here in Florida where we have been providing quality accounting and tax services for more than 20 years now. Today we're going to make a very detailed video on how to fill out your PPP loan forgiveness application if you are self-employed and how to fill it out to get full forgiveness of your PPP loan. We're going to go step by step on how to fill it out so you have all the necessary information in order to do your PPP application. Okay, we are recording this video on July 20th, and I always emphasize the date of the recording of these videos because if you have been following the PPP saga, you know that the PPP rules have been constantly changing. So whatever we discuss today may change tomorrow. That is the importance of subscribing to our channel. We are doing our best to keep you up to date with the latest information regarding the PPP and IRO programs. So once again, in this video, we're going to go into detail, step-by-step guide on how to fill out your PPP loan forgiveness application if you are self-employed and to get full forgiveness of the PPP loan. Now, first of all, who is this video for? Because remember, there are several different PPP rules depending on the type of business you have. If you have a corporation, if you have a partnership, if you have an S corporation, you have different PPP forgiveness rules. This video, we're going to concentrate on the self-employed or sole proprietors or independent contractors, meaning that you get a 1099 at the end of the year to report your annual income. Now, you also may be a single member LLC, okay? When you have an LLC with one owner, the automatic designation for taxes is that your LLC files taxes as a sole proprietor, unless you have made a tax filing election. For example, the LLC with one owner automatically files taxes as a sole proprietor, but you can choose that your LLC files taxes as an S corporation or as a C corporation. If your LLC files taxes as an S corporation or as a corporation, this video is not for you. So basically, anyone who fills a Schedule C on their personal tax return, this video is for you, okay? And it's anyone who fills out a Schedule C that does not have employees in payroll. It's very uncommon that a independent contractor or a self-employed individual has people on payroll, but there are cases that yes. So if you are self-employed, file a Schedule C, but you have people on payroll, meaning that you give them a W-2 at the end of the year, not a 1099. 1099 is independent contractors. So if you have payroll as a sole proprietor, this video is not for you. So this is for anyone that files a Schedule C on their personal tax return and they do not have payroll. Okay, very important to know that this video is for those people. Okay, now, which form do you need to fill out for the PPP forgiveness? There are two different PPP forgiveness application forms. There's Form 3508 and there's Form 3508EZ, which is the simplified PPP forgiveness form. This is the one you want to fill out, the Form 3508EZ. If you're self-employed, independent contractor, this is the form you are going to fill out for your PPP forgiveness. Now, you can get the 3508EZ form through the US Treasury website, which basically you can go This is the U.S. Department of Treasury website. This is the homepage. You click on this red banner. You scroll down. See, Paycheck Protection Program. For borrowers, you click here where it says Loan Forgiveness Application Form Easy. This is the form you want to fill out. When you click here, this is the application we are going to fill out. Okay? So, that's where you get the application from, but we are also going to provide a link to that application on the description of this video so you have access to it quickly. Okay? Now, once you fill out the PPP forgiveness application, you're going to send it to your lender or your bank that gave you the PPP funds. You are not going to send it to the SBA. So that's very important because when you fill out the application, you need to send it to your lender or the bank that gave you the PPP funds. Now, you have to check with your bank or your lender if they are currently accepting PPP forgiveness applications or if they're going to have their own online version of the 3508 EC form. Okay, I know that a lot of self-employed applied through Cabbage or Bluevine, and Cabbage nor Bluevine at this point are accepting PPP applications, and most likely they're going to have their own version of the PPP forgiveness form online. But even if they do these applications online, they're going to ask the same questions as the 3508 EZ form. So it's a good exercise for you before, if your bank is going to have the application online. It is a good exercise to fill this out, the 3508 EZ form first, fill it out separately so you have all the necessary information in that paper, and then use that form as a guide when you go in and do the online version with your bank. Okay, but we do know there are a couple of banks that are already accepting applications, so it all depends what bank you got your PPP from. Okay, now these are the documents that you're going to need in order to prepare your PPP forgiveness applications. You're going to need a copy of your 2019 Schedule C, and you're going to need the SBA form 3508EZ. Now, important for you to have this handy because these are the same documents you're going to have to send to your lender or your bank. So if you're self-employed, to the lender or your bank, you're going to fill out the application form for forgiveness, and you're going to send them a copy of your 2019 Schedule C. And we even have a client which the bank make them send in their complete 2019 personal tax return. So it all depends on the bank. The bank may have different document requirements. Okay, so basically, when do you apply for forgiveness? Now we know what form we're going to fill out. Now we know what documents we need to fill it out. One of the main questions we get in our office is, when do I need to apply for forgiveness? Now, according to the last interim final rule from the SBA that came down June 22nd, you have two options on when to apply for forgiveness. You can apply before the covered period ends, or you can apply after the covered period ends. Now remember that the covered period starts the date that you got the funds. From that date, you basically had two options, 8 weeks or 24 weeks to use the funds. Okay, so that time period is what is called the covered period. Now, if you got your PPP loan before June 5th, you can choose an 8-week or a 24-week covered period. But if you got the PPP loan after June 5th, you automatically have to use them in 24-week covered period. Now, as a self-employed, in order to achieve full forgiveness of the PPP, it is better that you choose the 24-week option. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean you have to wait the 24 weeks to send the forgiveness applications. You're going to see that we're going to choose in the application that you want the bank to apply the 24-week rules to your application. Let's take a look, okay? For example, if you choose the 8-week option as a self-employed, these are the rules that apply. And if you're self-employed, this is not a good option, and you're going to see why. Under the 8-week covered period rules, the PPP loan amount, this was the formula. You got your net profit from line 31 of your Schedule C. For this example, then the line 31 of the Schedule C said $60,000 net profit. You divide by 12 and then you multiply by 2.5. So 12,500 was your PPP loan amount. Now, under the 8-week covered period rules, the amount of PPP forgiven as owner compensation, this is the formula. It is the net profit divided by 52, then multiplied by 8. So it gives you this amount. So this amount is less than your PPP loan amount. So you have a remaining balance, which for self-employed is hard to get this portion forgiven, because you can only forgive that portion if you had business rent, business utilities, and business mortgage interest. And for self-employed, it's very hard. More self-employed don't have an office that they rent out. Okay, so this is the 8-week rule, which we do not want. We want to use the 24-week covered period rules. Why? Because under the 24-week option, the PPP loan amount, the formula is the net profit divided by 12 by 2.5. But the owner compensation forgiven, it's the same formula, meaning that this cancels itself out. You have zero balance due, total forgiveness. That's why if you're self-employed, you want to let the bank know that you want the 24-week covered period rules for your application. But once again, we're not going to wait after the 24 weeks, or you don't have to wait until the 24 weeks to send the application, okay? But this is the rule that will get you the total forgiveness of your PPP loan, okay? So first option is to send your forgiveness application before the covered period ends. Now, according to the interim final rule, it says that the borrower may submit loan forgiveness application even before the end of the covered period if borrower has used all the loan proceeds which the borrower is requesting forgiveness. So in your case, since you're self-employed, you really don't need to show that all the loan funds have been used, because you're going to use all of it as owner compensation. So you're just going to pay yourself the complete PPP loan amount, and that's it, okay? So as soon as your bank has the forgiveness application ready, if you receive the PPP, if your bank is already accepting PPP forgiveness applications, you can send the application right now. You don't have to wait till the end of the 24 weeks, okay? So it's up to you. But if you do decide to wait after the covered period ends, okay, basically you must send your PPP application to your lender within 10 months after the end of your covered period of the 24 weeks. If you do not send your PPP loan application 10 months, within 10 months of the end of your covered period, you're going to start having to make payments to your loan. So let's take an example. For example, let's say that, let's take a look at this. Okay, this is our calendar. Let's say that we received our funds on May 25th. May 25th is when we got the PPP funds. Okay, if I got the funds on May 25th, as soon as my bank or lender has the PPP loan application for forgiveness ready, I can send in the application at any time. But if I decide to send the PPP loan forgiveness after the covered period, then I need to count 24 weeks. So this is the 25th. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So November 9th is when my 24-week covered period ends. Okay, so after that date, I have 10 months to send the PPP loan forgiveness application. So after November 9th, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have until September 6th to send of 2021 to send the PPP loan application for forgiveness. If not, I'm going to start having to make payments toward the loan after September 6th of 2021. Okay, so I hope everyone got that example, but really, the SBA made it so easy for self-employed that as soon as your bank has the PPP loan forgiveness application ready, just send the application and get your full forgiveness and get that over with. Well, that's our recommendation. Okay, so now after you have sent in your PPP loan forgiveness application to your bank and lender, they have 60 days to tell you their decision, to tell you how much you were forgiven or how much you were not forgiven. Okay? Now, if you do not agree with your lender's decision, you have to submit a request to the SBA within 30 days from the date the lender told you their decision. Okay, and you need to inform the SBA that you want to review your lender's decision on the PPP forgiveness. So any amount, remember that any amount of PPP that is not forgiven will become a loan. It's a 1% interest loan. If you got the PPP funds before June 5th, you have a 2-year loan, but you can ask your lender to change it to a 5-year loan. If you got your PPP on or after June 5th, you automatically have a 5-year loan of any unforgiven funds for your PPP. Or you can always return the money and don't have any type of loan. Okay, so let's start to complete the PPP forgiveness application. Once again, we're going to go step by step on how to fill it out. Remember that you're going to need the 3508 easy form. You get it from the US Treasury website, or we're going to provide a link on the description of this video. And you're also going to need your 2019 Schedule C. So for this example, this is our case study. We're going to do a PPP loan forgiveness application for Mr. Dan Jones. He is a real estate agent and he got a PPP loan of $12,500 on May 25th of 2020. Now, why did he get this amount? On line 31 of his Schedule C, he had $60,000 divided by 12, multiplied by 2.5. So that's how we got the 12,500 PPP loan amount. So our example is going to be based on this information. So let's go to the form and let's do the application. Okay, so once again, this is the 3508 easy form. This is what you need to fill out in order to apply for your forgiveness. Okay, let me move this a little bit here. All right. So this is what you need to fill out. Once again, your bank or lender may have their own version of this, which you're going to have to fill out online. But it is a good practice for you to download this document, fill it out, and then start your online application with your bank if they have it online, because they're going to ask for the same information that we're going to fill out here. Okay, so let's go to the application. First of all is your business legal name. Now, if you're self-employed and you are not working under an LLC, you just put your name here. If you are working under an LLC, you have to put your legal LLC name in this box, okay? Then a DBA or a trade name. So if you are working under a DBA, then you can add your DBA here. Here you add your business address. Now, very important that when you go to your Schedule C, this is your 2019 Schedule C, line E, where you have your business address, make sure that is the same address that you are going to add on the application. Here you're going to add your business tax identification number. If you are working under your name, then here you're going to put your social security number. If you are working under an EIN number, most probably if you have an LLC, you're working under the EIN number. Here you will add your business EIN number. Now, how do you know how you report it? Okay, so once again, if you go to your Schedule C, if you see an EIN number here, it means that you're working under an EIN number, and this is the number you're going to put in the PPP application. If you do not see a number here and you only see your social up here, then that is the number you're going to add in this box. Here you put your business phone. Primary contact is going to be your name and the contact email address. Okay. Now, let's keep going down. In this line, they're asking for the SBA PPP loan number. To get this number, you're going to get it from the lender or bank, okay? The documents that you signed with your lender to agree to the PPP loan, the PPP loan number should be in those documents. If you don't have them, you need to ask your bank. The same thing is going to ask you for the lender PPP loan number. So this you also get from your bank. So the SBA PPP loan number you get from your bank, and the lender PPP loan number you get from the bank. This is a number from the SBA and this is a number from the bank. Two different numbers, but the bank is the one who's going to give you that number. Here you're going to fill in the PPP loan amount you got. Don't do the formula with line 31 now. Whatever amount of PPP you got deposited, that's what you need to put here. Why? Because some banks did make mistakes and they gave out more PPP funds than allowed. So a lot of people got more than they should have. So in this line, you're going to add the amount, or put in this line the amount you actually got from the bank into your bank account. Here you're going to put the date that you got the funds in your bank. In our case study, it was May 25th. Here it's going to ask employees at time of loan application. Now you're self-employed, you don't have employees. Now you can put 0 or 1. If our recommendation is to put 0, but you can also put 1, it won't make any difference. Employees at time of forgiveness of application, once again, you can put 0 or 1. Here is going to ask you if you got the idle advance or grant amount. If you got an idle grant or advance, you're going to put the amount here. In this case, Dan did get $1,000 as an IDL grant, not the EIDL loan, just the grant part. If you did not get an EIDL grant, then you put 0. If you got the EIDL grant or advance, you need to look for your EIDL application number. Now, where do you find this? When you fill out your EIDL loan application, at the end of the application, you should have seen this on your screen where it says application submitted. Here's your application number, and the number that's here, that's your EIDL application number, and that's the number you put here. If you don't know it, you can call the SBA and get your EIDL application number. Remember, that's only if you got the idle grant or loan. If you did not get the idle grant, then you put here 0 and EIDL application number, put NA, it's non-applicable. Okay, under the payroll schedule, you need to check one of these boxes. Now, if it says if your payroll is weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month, or monthly, but as self-employed, we're going to check other and fill out self-employed on this line. Now, the covered period, once again, we got the funds on May 25th of 2020. Okay, now this is very important. Here, we're going to add 24 weeks after this date. Why? Because this is how we're going to let the bank know that we want the 24 weeks rules to apply to our application. So even if the 24 weeks have not passed yet, just put the 24-week date. So from May 25th, let's go to the calendar again, May 25th, okay, of 2020, May 25th. So now we count 24 weeks. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I have November 9th as my end of the 24-week period. So here on the application, I put November 9th, 2020. So this is important because this is how you're going to let your bank know to apply the 24-week period rules so that you get the total forgiveness of your loan. Okay, once again, you don't have to, even if this date has not come, you don't have to wait till that date. You can send it anytime after May 25th. You're just letting the bank know that you want the 24-week period rules to apply to your application for forgiveness. Under alternative payroll covered period, basically put NA because that does not apply to you. If borrower, if you got a PPP loan of excess of $2 million, you check here. But it's basically impossible for a self-employed to get this amount unless the bank made a huge mistake. So for most self-employed, you did not get a $2 million PPP loan or more, you do not check this. All right, here's where we're going to do some math. On line 1, they're going to ask for your payroll cost. Now, how do we calculate payroll cost? So let's go to the presentation. So this is how you calculate your payroll cost for the PPP loan application for forgiveness. You take the line 31 of your Schedule C, which in Dan's case, if this is his Schedule C, you go all the way down to line 31 and see he has $60,000 in line 31. So we take that $60,000, divide by 12, multiply by 2.5. So 12,500 is your payroll cost. Now you have to do this calculation with this line 31 of Schedule C. Don't just put your PPP loan amount, even though it should be the same number. Because remember, there are people who got more funds than they should have. You have to do this line 1 of payroll cost with whatever you have on line 31 on your Schedule C, divide by 12, multiply by 2.5. In this case, is 12,500. So this is the number we put in line 1 as payroll cost. Now, line 2, 3, and 4 as self-employed, this will not apply for you because the expenses that are going to be taken for forgiveness will be owner compensation in full. So your business mortgage, business rent, business utility will not apply in your case. So in these 3 lines, you just put 0. So on line 5, add the amounts of line 2, 3, these lines 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is the total, 12,500. Put here your PPP loan amount, which is the same number you have to put here. Remember, this is the number of the actual amount of funds that were deposited in your account. So you take this number and you put it here, okay? Now, line 7, it says to take the payroll cost and divide by 0.6. Now, this only applies for people who have payroll. This does not apply to self-employed, but we're just going to put it for the sake of this example. So you take payroll cost, which is line 1, payroll cost, 12,500, and we divide by 0.6, and this is the number we get. So your forgiveness amount is the smallest of line 5, 6, and 7. So from this line, and this line, what is the lowest number? That is your PPP forgiveness amount. Okay, so if this number, the PPP loan amount you got from the bank is the same as your payroll costs, then you're going to get 100% forgiveness. Now, we do know of cases that they got more than they should have, so that portion will not be forgiven. So the next page into the PPP forgiveness application, the easy form, you just have to put your initials in these lines and you are certifying that you are certifying that this information is true. Okay, so you have to read all this and you have to certify that you have read, and you're basically certifying that all the information that you are providing is true. Very important is the one that says here, the tax documents I have submitted to the lender are consistent with those you have submitted to the IRS. And that's very important because they are going to cross-check at some point. So whatever Schedule C you used to file your PPP loan application, it must be the same Schedule C you sent to the IRS. So because not, they're going to check and you're going to get into trouble. Okay, so you basically you just put your initials on these lines. Here you put your signature, you put the date, your name, title, you can put owner because you're the owner of your business. And the third page is optional. You do not have to fill out this page. It's basically demographic information. If you want to put this information here, you can choose, for example, if you are a non-veteran, you put 1. If you're male or female, if you're Asian, African American, American Indian, or if you're Hispanic, Latino, or not disclosed. So you can either put the information or just put X in every box, which that means that you don't want to disclose any of this information. Once again, this is voluntary. Okay, so that's it. That's the application. We have finished the application. Okay, now in Dan's case, remember he did get the PPP forgiveness amount was $12,500, but since he got $1,000 EIDL grant, his total forgiveness amount was reduced by $1,000. Remember, the EIDL grant affects directly the amount of PPP that is forgiven. So his unforgiven amount is $1,000. Now this $1,000 he can either give back to the bank or it will become a loan. Remember, it's a 1% interest, a 2 or a 5-year loan, or he can give back the funds to the bank. Okay, so basically that's the way you fill out your PPP loan forgiveness application if you're self-employed. I hope you have liked this information. If you think a lot of other self-employed individuals can get value out of this information, please like the video because that makes YouTube show this video to more people. So if you think this is valuable information for self-employed, like the video and remember to subscribe to our channel so you are always with the latest information with the SBA loans. Now remember, this is our contact information. We are a full service tax and accounting firm. We are providing consultations for PPP forgiveness, applications, EIDL, consultations as well. We have lowered our consultation rate in order to help more business owners. And that's it. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.